Introduce
Wait,
yourself, the
okay.
character you play.
Hello, I'm Oliver Stark. I play Buck, as you may know, on 911. And we're doing this my first official Facebook Live. So if anybody is in here yet, thank you for being in here. But we're going to go answering. I have some questions that you guys have already shot over. So, oh yeah, hello. So let's go. All right. You do a great American accent. That's not a question, that's a compliment. It moves into a question. What accent difference did you notice here that you didn't get to see American movies in England? So growing up in the UK, we are exposed to American accents, you know, pretty early on because we watch American movies and we watch American television. Whereas I don't think that's such a thing over here. British television isn't so big. So I feel like it's kind of easier as a Brit to come over and do an American accent than it is for an American to go do a British accent, but you know, it still takes a little work. I'm not going to take all of that out of it. But yeah, so it's not my first time. I did another show where I was an American in it. So, but it's something that I enjoy doing and the kind of challenge of putting that work in. Next question. What's your favorite part about getting to work with new guest cast and the new storylines each week? I get really excited whenever we get a new script through because you just never know where it's going to come from, where it's going to go, you know, what kind of crazy situation we're going to be put in and how we're going to pull it all together. And every kind of member, actor that's come in to play guest parts are so talented and people that, you know, wouldn't always necessarily even do guest roles, but because of, you know, Ryan Murphy and the stature of the cast, are happy to come in and do just one episode. So it's been a real joy getting to work with them. How do you prepare yourself for each episode since you aren't a real firefighter? Who told you that? Do you research to see what real firefighters do? So we have on set, we have two fire techs who are real firefighters. They are active firefighters. They come in on their days off to help us, and they try and make us not look silly. So if I'm swinging an axe the wrong way or kicking in the door incorrectly, they try and school us on that a little bit. And also they put some, they advise to the writers what, you know, I've seen this happen, this has happened to me on the job. So they have a lot of input into the show. Me personally, I ask them a lot of questions. And then I've also done some other stuff where I've been on a ride along with some firefighters and went on some calls with them. And hung out with firefighters at some of the other like fundraisers and stuff. So it's been a real kind of enlightening experience to get to go and do that and hang out with them and hopefully, you know, do them some respect and pay honor to the job that they have to do for real. If you weren't an actor, what would you be? Kisses from Argentina. I don't know. I've worked a million jobs. I really have. I didn't start acting until I was 21, and I didn't start actually acting until I was 23 or 24, maybe. So up until that point, I was working a lot of different jobs. I've worked in retail stores. I've been a cleaner. I've been an insurance salesman. I've been a nightclub promoter. I've been a painter. Like I've been a call center worker. I've done everything. That's not everything, but a lot of things. I would not choose to go and continue in any of those career paths. I don't think. There was a time about 6 months ago, genuinely I looked into becoming a firefighter. I hadn't worked as an actor in a little while. I didn't know if my time as an actor may not go where I wanted it to go. So I started thinking about other career paths, and I thought maybe I could be a firefighter, and that's a true story, even though it may not sound like one. How is it working with the queen of television, Connie Britton? I have so much fun with Connie, like genuinely. Every time we have a scene together, it is so fun. Professionally, she's super talented, and then personally, I just like being around her because we laugh and we make fun of each other, and it's just, yeah, she's a real joy to be around. So I mean, the whole cast, I'm kind of coming into this as by far the least experienced, but every single one of them is so nice that it's never felt like there's been any kind of barrier there. So I'm having a great time in that sense. Did you have any idea this show would become a hit? no, I mean, you can hope, but you never know. You know, I've been a part of things in the past that I thought would become bigger hits than they did. So I've learned, I guess, not to have any expectation and you just hope for the best. I mean, you look at the people that were involved and it has all the right ingredients, but until it's out there, you know, we could have been making it by ourselves and been like, yeah, this is great. And then you guys may have not enjoyed it. So it's been a surreal experience, and I'm thankful that you guys are enjoying it because I'm having a great time making it. So that just, you know, it's a little cherry on the, I don't know what I'm doing. Little cherry on the top of the cake. That's what that was. Did you get that? Maybe not. I'm still doing it. Still doing it. What's your most memorable moment on the show so far? There's two. Can I do that? I can do that because you're not here to stop me. In the pilot episode, when we take the baby out of the wall, I had to actually then carry the baby in one arm. I'm not very used to holding babies, but here I do. I have one in one arm, and I had to run down 8 flights of stairs. This is a real baby. So I believe it was 35 weeks old. I had to run down the stairs with this baby. There's a railing to my right side, you know. Oh, didn't happen. But I had, yeah, so that was a big, like, when they said, all right, let's bring in the real baby. I was a bit like, what? So that, and then tonight's episode, you know, is a big plane crash, and we were in the water at night shooting that over like a week and a half. So that was really difficult physically, but I think it's going to be an incredible episode tonight. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it for the first time. So I'll be sitting there with you, possibly being made to be afraid of flying. I kind of already said that. You know, my favorite school subject when I was in school, it was kind of math. We won't get into why, but well, actually, sure we will. I was good at it, all right, and I liked it. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna start reading these ones and do these ones now. What was my audition like? Scary, because it was one that I was really interested in. So scary in one sense, but then also in another sense, I was really relaxed about it, which is very rare for me, because I knew that I was coming in and possibly doing something a little different with the character than what most people may have done, at least in my head. But also when you're coming into a room to meet people like Ryan Murphy and Tim Minear, and yeah, it was intimidating, but you just try and put that down and act confident. What scenes took the longest to shoot? The biggest set piece is the scene from tonight, the plane. That was, I think, 10 days in the water. And we built a lake, literally. I don't know how big it is. It was bigger than this. So that'd just be silly. And we bought a plane and put a plane in it, and it was this huge thing. The water's on fire. We were in there. It was freezing. We did the most of it. And the week leading up to Christmas, which is like the coldest week of the year. So of course that's when we got in the water, because, you know, hey, commitment. So yeah, that was I think what has taken the most amount of time to film. Also possibly the roller coaster from episode 2, because we shot that in 3 different segments, on a real roller coaster out in Ontario, California, and then on a green screen, and then a separate day as well. So that took a little while. What kind of character growth can we expect to see this season? Yeah, I mean, what's been a lot of fun for me is that, you know, Buck has already started to get a lot of character growth. You know, from who he was in the pilot episode to who he is now. I think we've already seen him kind of calm down and settle a little bit and start to understand the importance of the job and the responsibility that it gives him. So yeah, and I think we're going to see that continue to grow, and possibly his problems with intimacy start to work himself out and grow into a little bit more of an adult. Which character is your favorite on the show? I mean, no, is it me? I don't know. I really like the whole, maybe this is me being biased. I like watching the Fire team together. I like watching those relationships. I like the way they, as a 4, we kind of interact with each other, and those are always fun days on set. And I think that translates quite well onto screen. What's going to happen with Buck and Abby? Abbuck, Abby. I don't know. I wish I did. genuinely don't know. I have my ideas. I have my ideas where I think it could go, where I think it should go, but they're probably all wrong, and that's why I'm not a writer. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't read beyond episode 6, so I am as much in the dark as you are, bar those 2 episodes. When will you meet? Oh, we just did that one. My son Cameron wants to be a fireman so bad. It's a great career. Did you want to be a firefighter when you were a kid? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't. I don't really remember what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I think I wanted to be a soccer player. And obviously, you know, I'm not one. But that's okay, because I'm here. So I don't know if I wanted to be a firefighter. I feel like most children at some point want to do something in the heroic line of work. So possibly. All right, let me do a little scroll, because what's one thing you have learned by being on the show? I think my respect level for what it takes to be a first responder has gone up, because it's one of these things where I wasn't consciously thinking about first responders. I know they're there, but until you need them, you don't really think about them. And then suddenly they're the most important person in your life. Whereas this has made me think about them on a much more conscious level every day, that these are people that they have a home, they have a family life, then they go and they literally risk their lives for strangers, and they put their lives up as collateral for strangers and what that takes. And then they go home again. And that's really incredible to me. And I have nothing but respect for them. Does Buck have a crush on Abby? I think it's moving that direction. I think we've picked up on that so far, which is, by the way, I think fantastic. And I've seen some people be like, is there an age difference there? Yes. And I think that's a really cool thing that we're all very aware of. And that is a very real relationship that happens in the world. So I'm all for it. How was it like working with Peter Krause, who plays Bobby? The nicest man on television. Like, he's so generous and composed, and from the people at the very top, you know, to every single one of us at the bottom, he's the nicest possible man you can imagine. And you know, he's been working for a long time, and I often find that people that have been through it and have been working for as long as they have are the nicest, because they've been through it and they understand the struggle. Okay. Do I like playing the role of a firefighter? I'm having the best time playing a firefighter. I've never played someone who's been so noble in some senses, I guess, and is really willing to lay himself on the line and become a part of saving other people. I've tended to play bad guys in the past, and I'm getting a really amazing, warm feeling from getting to play someone nice, and who is willing to put himself out there for other people. So yeah, no, it's really great for me. Do I know that the ship name for Buck and Abby is Evabi? I've seen that one. I've seen Evabi and I've seen Abbuck. I don't know which one he doesn't really go by Evan. He uses but they're a difficult pair of names to stick together. So, and maybe Evabi it is. I'll go with it. Do you feel that the show is a good representation of real firefighters? I hope so. You know, that's certainly the goal. And I understand that there's always going to be some technical things that are not entirely realistic because it's a TV show. But what I really hope we are getting is the feeling of what it's like to be a firefighter and the kind of emotions that they have to go through. And you know, thankfully, the feedback that I've got so far is that we are managing to touch on that, which, you know, I really hope continues. Do I speak another language? I learned Japanese for 3 years. I learned German for 5 years, and I learned Spanish for 2 years, but no, not really. I was young when I was learning them. I was at school and I wasn't as interested in them at the time. Now I'm a lot more interested in it. So whenever I travel, I try and make an effort to pick up some language, because I always think it's a nice sign of respect. And there's possibly sometimes an ignorance with the English language where you're like, oh, everybody's going to speak my language. So I like to try and say a few things just to show, yeah, a level of respect, really. Do I relate to Buck in any way? Yeah, absolutely. I I do in many ways, actually. In particular, I think that, you know, we've seen him start to develop as a person and learn about himself and really come into his own through this job. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing with this job. You know, it's unlocked a new side to myself, and I'm really going through that change at the same time that he is. So I relate to him on many levels, but that's, you know, the main one that comes to mind. My best friend on the cast, don't make me choose. I hang out a lot with Kenny Choi, who plays Chimney. We've become good friends. Aisha, who plays Hen. In fact, the whole fire team, we've got a little text group together, and even when we're not at work, we're kind of in constant communication. It's really just me bugging them and them being like, God, this guy won't leave me alone. I'm just trying to make friends, and they don't want anything to do with me. Who are my best friends? The guy that's just said, who are my best friends, is actually one of my best friends, so that's not funny. Yeah, I see you. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes more, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get through as many of these as I can. Another one is just echoed. Guys, he's another best friend of mine. What do I do for fun in my spare time? At the moment, I don't really have much spare time. But I like to cook a lot. I don't really go out all that much. I like to cook. I cook vegan foods because I be a vegan. I know. Yeah, so I cook a lot, and I cook a lot. I exercise. I'm clearly the most boring person. So we'll move on from that one. Have you watched Big Little Lies? Yes, I have. Meryl Streep was just cast in the second season. Isn't that exciting? She's like, look at Nicole getting all those awards. I'm gonna come back and take my crown. I think he was. Some shout outs. Oh yeah. You can say hi to a few people. Who? I don't know. Hello to anybody. Who? Who am I looking for? Give me some people.
Barbara says hi.
Who?
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. How you doing? And to all of you. Is that it, just Barbara? Listen, Barbara, me and you.
Caitlin says hi.
Hi, Caitlin. No, hi to everybody. Oh, I am the Ev Abbey team. Hello, Ev Abbey team. Is your character going to continue his naughty ways? I don't think so. I think his relationship, whatever that relationship is with Abby, is settling him and making him realize that the connections that he's possibly been trying to build with women aren't being made in the healthiest way. So he's calming himself down. What is my idea of a perfect date? Oh, I don't know. I should know. Something chilled, something where you just, yeah, it's about you and the other person rather than they're kind of trying to be too spectacular with it. And so yeah, something revolving around good conversation. Yes, Chuck, you can get a shout out. There it is. Is doing makeout scenes nerve-wracking? You know, I've kissed a girl before, so it wasn't my first rodeo. Sorry. Oh God. And on that note, no, I don't really get nervous about them. Although I did do my first in the pilot, the scenes of intimate nature in the fire truck. That was my first day of shooting on this job, so it was like right in the deep end, and that was also my first scene of like full stuff. So that was a little nerve-wracking. What's the difference between playing Buck and playing Ryder? So Ryder is a character I played on another television show. I think Ryder was very angsty and I hate the world, whereas Buck is like, his heart is, you know, bursting out of his chest, and I really enjoy that and getting to tap into that side of myself, which I didn't realize I would get that feeling, but it's really opened me up in a lot of ways. Yes, there is going to be a season 2. We've been picked up. Don't know how many episodes, don't know when it will be. There is going to be a season 2. But cool. All right. So we're hitting 20 minutes, which is I don't know what that was, which is the cutoff time. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say thank you for tuning in and not letting me just sit here by myself, because it would have been awkward and there's only so many snacks here. I hope you all tune in tonight. It's a big, big episode. We had a lot of fun making it. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work to make it happen. And I genuinely think it's going to be amazing. So tune in tonight. I really enjoy all the tweets and everything. You know, that I think that's as much fun for me as it is for all of you, getting to just see that interaction. So tweet with us tonight. Be there and have a good day. I was going to click finish. Don't click finish. That's probably how